pleasure to be amongst the lawyers, local lawyers. Unfortunately, for a long time, I couldn't really meet the lawyers here.
He is our state president.
Yeah, I met him. You're from Asra. I can see the badge. The whole team is Asra.
Yes.
Wonderful. You guys should visit, make a visit to our center anytime that you can. I'm not sure if everybody has heard about the center. Chiboli Nanak Ramguda, the Honorable Chief Justice of India, has inaugurated. So please make a visit. And you should bring your whole team to Asra sometime.
Yeah, sure,
To have a look at the facilities. Sir, in fact, just graced the center with his august presence. And I hope pretty much he liked the infrastructure that we have put in.
Very much.
So I would like to invite you all, extend my invite to the center. Please pay a visit. All of you should come. We'll do a discussion there in one of our halls. We have various halls there. So I think that'd be really, really nice.
You have a small program of
No, absolutely. That's what I was telling, sir, that we should do one program with your organization in our center, in our hall. We'll pick up an interesting topic, focusing young lawyers, who are trying to make a difference in the society and how we can work together to bridge the gap between the stakeholders and, promote arbitration and mediation in the state, and which eventually will generate a lot of opportunities for each and every one of us. So that's the whole idea of me being here and the center being here in Hyderabad. So that's the idea.
so you plan something like this month and this quarter and
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever
then we'll try to make it by
No, see, it's your center. The center is yours. You all have to be available. You have to come, and we'll fix up a discussion. There's no problem. The center is for people of Hyderabad, and that's the whole idea. Yes.
So,
formed a team of Asra. Is it right?
Yes.
Yes. I call this team of Asra as soldiers of Asra. Why? Why? Because they work like soldiers. It's real, sir.
You can see the passion and motivation.
But where are the seniors? Now the new team has formed. For this, there should be a new name. This is team of tigers hereafter. Yes. You should compete with the seniors. You should work hard. Particularly this part of arbitration and mediation, you should work with devotion, dedication, and determination. I hope you all work together for that. And coming to the part of Tarakanji is the right person to deliver the awareness program of arbitration and mediation today. I don't want to touch it now because the lack of language, because it should reach to the common people through media. Just for a minute or two, I'll deliver something on the and next in English. So English papers are come. English culture. Okay. So no problem. The Telugu, with your permission.
Absolutely, sir.
I would love to
learn more of that. That's very
Last time also మనం డిస్కస్ చేసాం రిగార్డింగ్ అవేర్నెస్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్బిట్రేషన్. ఇది ఒకప్పుడు విలేజెస్లో ఉన్నటువంటిది. దిస్ ఇస్ నాట్ న్యూ. యాక్చువల్గా బ్రిటిషర్స్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఈ యాక్ట్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఆ పాత పద్ధతి తీసేసి లోయర్ కోర్ట్, తర్వాత అప్పర్ కోర్ట్, ఆ తర్వాత హై కోర్ట్, ఆ తర్వాత సుప్రీం కోర్ట్, టేకింగ్ టైం, మనీ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్, ఎక్స్పెన్స్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. 1 లైఫ్ పడుతుంది. సో అట్లాంటిది కాకుండా 1 లైఫ్ పడటమే కాకుండా వన్ సైడే. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దర్ ఆర్ 2 పార్టీస్. వన్ సైడ్ ఏంటి, మాకు ఓహో న్యాయం జరిగింది అనుకుంటారు, జస్టిస్ డన్ అనుకుంటారు. అదర్ సైడ్ జస్టిస్ నాట్ డన్ అనుకుంటారు. బట్ వేర్ ఈస్ ఇన్ ద ఆర్బిట్రేషన్ మీడియేషన్, ది గుడ్ థింగ్ ఈజ్ బోత్ పార్టీస్ కన్విన్స్ అవుతారు, బోత్ పార్టీస్కి జస్టిస్ జరిగింది అనుకుంటారు. అండ్ అనదర్ గుడ్ థింగ్ ఈజ్ they can choose a judge. Here in the practice in the courts, they can choose a lawyer. Just argue the matter, one side judge. Here, they can choose the judge, arbitrator, or mediator. So both sides కూడా వారికి జడ్జ్మెంట్ వచ్చేసరికి ఇద్దరు కూడా సొంతంగా there is no person to appeal on that. Because with the consent of the both parties. This is the great thing in the arbitration and mediation. సో ఇది మన సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ చీఫ్ జస్టిస్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా ఎన్వి రమణ గారు వచ్చినాక ఈ యాక్ట్ పార్లమెంట్లో కూడా మీడియేషన్ యాక్ట్ అని చెప్పేసి మరి కన్జ్యూమర్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ యాక్ట్ 2019 ఎట్లా వచ్చిందో ఈ మీడియేషన్ యాక్ట్ కూడా 2021లో వచ్చింది, దాని మీద బుక్స్ వస్తాయి. అండ్ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్, సార్ హ్యాస్ రిటన్ అ వండర్ఫుల్ బుక్ ఆన్ ఆర్బిట్రేషన్ అండ్ మీడియేషన్ which is going to be released in a couple of months. I am asking an opportunity to inaugurate that also.
Absolutely.
In the Asra. సో దీనిని దిస్ ఇస్ అన్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ లా. ఒక లా ప్రకారము అంటే ఎర్లియర్ డేస్లో ఒక విలేజెస్లో జస్ట్ అందరూ కూర్చొని ఒక పెద్ద మనిషి కూర్చొని నీ ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి, నీ ప్రాబ్లం అంటే బోత్ సైడ్స్ అడిగితే బోత్ సైడ్స్ని ఒప్పించి చెప్పేదే ఇప్పుడు జరుగుతుంది. నథింగ్ మోర్ దాన్ దాట్ ఆర్బిట్రేషన్ మీడియేషన్. రిమైనింగ్ థింగ్స్ సార్ చెప్తారు.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
At the outset, I'd like to say that I'm extremely overwhelmed and very, I don't have words right now because such a warm welcome has been given to me by such a motivated and dynamic team of ASRA. And I'm truly privileged to be amongst you all because since I've come to Hyderabad, I've moved to Hyderabad and taken up the responsibility of becoming a registrar here. I really did not get an opportunity because
Time, money and everything, expense, all these things. One life పడుతుంది. సో అట్లాంటిది కాకుండా వన్ లైఫ్ పడటమే కాకుండా వన్ సైడే. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ దర్ ఆర్ టూ పార్టీస్, వన్ సైడ్ ఏంటి మాకు ఓహో న్యాయం జరిగింది అనుకుంటారు, జస్టిస్ డన్ అనుకుంటారు. అదర్ సైడ్ జస్టిస్ నాట్ డన్ అనుకుంటారు. నెంబర్ 1 desire of service. Number 2 destination of service again. Number 3 just to fulfill his dream of service has formed a team of ASRA. Is it right?
Yes.
I call this team.
No, that's very, very.
Last time also మనం డిస్కస్ చేసాము రిగార్డింగ్ అవేర్నెస్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్బిట్రేషన్. ఇది ఒకప్పుడు విలేజెస్లో ఉన్నటువంటిదే. దిస్ ఇస్ నాట్ న్యూ. యాక్చువల్గా బ్రిటిషర్స్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఈ యాక్ట్ అంటే ఈ మీడియేషన్ యాక్ట్ కూడా 2021లో వచ్చింది, దాని మీద బుక్స్ వస్తాయి. అండ్ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్, సార్ హ్యాస్ రిటన్ అ వండర్ఫుల్ బుక్ ఆన్ ఆర్బిట్రేషన్ అండ్ మీడియేషన్ which is going to be released in a couple of months. I am asking an opportunity to inaugurate that also.
Absolutely.
Good thing is both parties convince అవుతారు, both parties కి జస్టిస్ జరిగింది అనుకుంటారు. అండ్ అనదర్ గుడ్ థింగ్ ఈస్ దే కెన్ చూస్ ద జడ్జ్. హియర్ ఇన్ ద ప్రాక్టీస్ ఇన్ ద కోర్ట్స్ దే కెన్ చూస్ ద లాయర్. జస్ట్ ఆర్గ్యూ ద మ్యాటర్, వన్ సైడ్ జడ్జింగ్. గుడ్ థింగ్ ఈస్ బోత్ పార్టీస్ కన్విన్స్ అవుతారు, బోత్ పార్టీస్కి జస్టిస్ జరిగింది అనుకుంటారు. అండ్ అనదర్ గుడ్ థింగ్ ఈస్ దే కెన్ చూస్ ద జడ్జ్. Here in the practice of the courts, they can choose the lawyer. Just argue the matter. Judgment వచ్చేసరికి ఇద్దరు కూడా సమ్మతుంటే there is no question of appeal on that. Because with the consent of the both parties. This is the great thing in the arbitration and mediation. So, ఇది మన సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ చీఫ్ జస్టిస్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా ఎన్వి రమణ గారు వచ్చినాక ఈ యాక్ట్ పార్లమెంట్.
A common consumer will go to the consumer court, and sir is the best person to tell us the kind of pressure that is there on judges also. Sitting judges have to deal with hundreds of cases every day, and the common man, be it consumer disputes or any kind of disputes, because there are certain reasons why arbitration and mediation are better than court. Now those reasons I will list out. But before I go there, I will press rewind and I'll go a step back. And I'd like to tell you what arbitration is, what mediation is. Normally, I'm sure everybody understands, but I will just try to define it in my own manner. And I'm very comfortable with Hindi, Urdu also, by the way. Telugu, I'm learning kuncham little bit. So, and I really want to connect with the local people, with all of you, because the center is not belonging to one particular class of people or lawyers. It's for each and every one of you. And with this, I would also like to extend an invitation to each and every member of ASRA, as well as all local lawyers of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, because I see that both the states have been very supportive to us. And really, The idea is to first do capacity building in these states and to get lawyers with us, because I think without their support, IAMC will not be able to achieve its goal, which is to institutionalize arbitration and mediation in India and to make IAMC a world-class institution. Now coming to the main part, when I was telling you what arbitration and what mediation is. Normally, like I said, in a contract between two parties, if a dispute arises, if one party is not making payments to the other party, or if there is any dispute that happens, you go to the court of law.
Yes.
But what we do is, to promote arbitration, we put an arbitration clause or a mediation clause in that contract. This is called a dispute resolution clause. Now, once you put a dispute resolution clause in that contract and you say that tomorrow if any disputes will arise, we will go to IAMC, which is International Arbitration and Mediation Center, and the dispute shall be resolved under the administration of IAMC. Now imagine tomorrow dispute happens, one of the parties is not making payments to the other party. Now you don't have to go to the court for justice. You can simply write a notice to the other side saying that I am invoking my arbitration clause or my mediation clause and I am going to go to IAMC, and then you cannot approach the court. Now why should you come to IAMC and not go to the court? The answer to that question is, first, it is faster. Now how is it fast? How can somebody guarantee that it's going to be resolved faster than the court? Under the Arbitration and Conciliation Act, which is the law which governs arbitration in India, there's a time period which was introduced in 2015, from 23rd October 2015, that each and every dispute has to be decided in an arbitration within a period of 1 year. Later on, the 2019 amendment changed the timeline, and now it is 18 months, which is 6 months for filing the pleadings and 1 year for passing of the award. So imagine your whole dispute will be finished within 1.5 years. That's the upper limit. It can finish earlier also. So that's the first part where arbitration comes in.
So when we started this arbitration, what we think, sir? So we want to work only on the consumer protection. The beautiful thing with the consumer protection of 2019 is, so in the consumer conditions, we can file our case as a person, as a consumer, or you can file the case to an advocate, or you can file the case to an arbitration. So the main object we have taken, and we established an arbitration name of ASRA, and we invited non-advocates also in this arbitration. Today, on this dais, with all in front of the media, in front of our judge, everything that is produced here, today we are having 584 patents in 9 states. And as on date, as per the mediation law, we have 10,400 cases to mediate in the consumer dispute. And if the problem is not solved, then on behalf of consumer, we are filing the cases in the proper courts. And these non-advocates, we are giving training program to them.
Everyone is in black, so who are the non-advocates?
Non-advocates, what you are doing, sir? We are to non-advocates, we are giving training program. And as per the clause, we are filing the cases. Today, we can proudly say that 324 cases we filed in the court, sir. And 245 This is our track record, sir. So all are going to the courts, and all are well expert in the consumer protection act.
The lawyers make all of that.
So yesterday also one non-advocate given in Warangal, sir. So he represented in Warangal court. After completing his arguments everything, then judge asked which bar you are from. He said, I am from Asra, sir. So this is our beautiful. Now, one thing I am telling you, sir, from the starting of the ASRA, we started in 2014 by the state commission also when we approved state commission. After that, sir, we came in Madras and the year 2017. So one thing by God's grace, I will be clear and tell you, sir, instead of Madras and Nagpur, from 2017 to, because SAR has a number of judges. I am practicing advocate, I am practicing with I see number of judges. But some judges having to do something to the suffer. So in front of Madras, we have taken.
We have an issue with calling it an ADR, because unfortunately for a very long time, people has been accepting it as alternative to justice. Whereas I personally feel we should not treat it as an alternative to justice. We must treat it as a preferred or primary mode of dispute resolution. Now, why should we treat it as a primary or preferred mode of dispute resolution? People have this notion, normally a layman, when a dispute will arise, would really think of going to the court of law for getting justice. But the problem is when you approach a court of law because of the protracted litigation and overburdened judiciary, the problem that arises is that a common man doesn't really get justice pretty fast. And there's a very old saying that justice delayed is justice denied. So the idea is to get justice at the earliest. Now that's when arbitration and mediation kicks in.